following is a special presentation of Sunshine Network.
For head coach Pat McMahon and the Florida Gators, it's been a roller coaster ride through the regular season. Now the postseason begins in Oklahoma City on what the Gators hope is only the first stop on the winding road to Omaha. Florida and Central Connecticut State coming next on Sunshine. Live from the Brickyard Ballpark in Oklahoma City, Sunshine Network presents NCAA Regional Baseball. Today, the Florida Gators meet the Central Connecticut State Blue Devils. And a very pleasant good afternoon, everybody. I'm Mick Hubert. My pleasure to call the play-by-play of this Oklahoma City Regional. The Gators coming in as the #1 seed as they meet the 4th seed Blue Devils. The other two teams here in Oklahoma City, the host school, #2 Oklahoma, the Sooners facing the 3rd seed UCLA Bruins. The champion will be crowned on Sunday. We welcome in former Gator great Nick Belmonte. And Nick, we see two very good hitting teams in this first game.
They really are, and Pat McMahon cannot take Central Connecticut State lightly. He's told his team, hey, they're the 4th seed. They got everything to gain, and they've been in this tournament 3 straight years. Even though they're a smaller school, they've been in the regionals. They've had the taste, so the Gators know they got to take one game at a time.
Yeah, the #4 seed here has the most victories of any team in the field with 41. And Nick, I'm also excited to see a couple of hot-hitting Floridians, one playing for the Gators, one playing for the Blue Devils.
For the Blue Devils, Keith Stegbauer, this is the Northeast Conference Player of the Year, .412 batting average. He led the conference with 98 hits. That was an all-time conference record. Outstanding year for him. And for the Gators, Ben Harrison, let me tell you, Ben Harrison in 4 years at the University of Florida has been consistent as a beautiful sunset in his hometown of Key West, Florida. There's a home run right there against Auburn, one of the big hits that Ben had this year. And if he doesn't do it with the bat, he will do it with the glove. Outstanding play, defensively great catch during the year. Ben Harrison continues to impress as his last couple of weeks as a Florida Gator. They need his bat to continue on in college baseball regional championships.
And of course, this time of the year, you can take no chances. The Gators are going with their ace, the SEC Pitcher of the Year, Justin Hoyman, a 10-game winner, and Lou Paparella for Central Connecticut State, who won 7 games during the regular season. Those are the pitchers. Back to Oklahoma City for baseball. Coming up right after this on Sunshine. The 2004 NCAA Baseball Regional on Sunshine Network is brought to you by Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers, and by Bell South Answers. More choice of services, all from one company, all on one bill. Bell South, listening, answering. Central Connecticut State 41-15 with one tie, and the Gators at 40-20 for the year. And for Central Connecticut State, head coach Charlie Hickey, here's the batting order. Leading off, the shortstop, the Conference Player of the Year, Keith Stegbauer. In right field, hitting second, Rob Hosgood. The catcher, Tim DeQuilla, hitting third. At first base, batting cleanup is Phil Rothkugel. In left field, Tom Pizzello bats fifth. At third base, Matt Mimley batting 6th. In center field, Brad Muldoon batting 7th. The designated hitter, John Blaze, batting 8th. The second baseman, Dan Tarnowski, batting 9th. That's the Central Connecticut State batting order. Defensively for the Gators, it's Matt Laporta in left today. Jeff Corselletti, well and good, back in center. Ben Harrison in right. Johnny Tucker at third. Justin Torti at short. Adam Davis at second. C.J. Smith at first. Brian Girolamo, the catcher. And Justin Hoyman, the starting pitcher. There's a look at Hoyman with a record of 10-1. 2.82 is ERA, making his 18th start of the year. He has 5 complete games. Opponents are hitting only .216 against Justin Hoyman this year. He's been the workhorse of the SEC, pitching in more innings than any other player in the league at 124 2/3. Has 84 strikeouts, 35 walks. The starting lineups today brought to you by Bell South Answers. Bell South, listening, answering. Well, the umpires, as assigned by the NCAA, Kevin Gilmore calls the balls and strikes. Jeff Head at first base. Paul Gilly at second. Dave Buck is the third base umpire. Well, the Bricktown Ballpark, the venue for this regional tournament. 70 degrees right now in Oak City, 83% humidity, and mostly cloudy skies. A little breezy. We've had rain throughout much of this day. In fact, it rained a couple of hours ago, and it rained out the on-field batting practice that was scheduled. Both teams had hit below in the cages. All of that weather you see is out towards center field. It's heading away from Oklahoma City. The weather that we would get would be directly behind us, coming in from the southwest behind our heads. But the forecast is for clearing skies for the next few hours. There's Keith Steckbauer from Seminole, Florida, to lead it off, hitting at .412, the NEC Player of the Year. 4 homers, 45 runs batted in. Not only did he lead the Northeast Conference in hitting, he led the league in hits with 98, and he led the league in runs scored with 80.
And Mick, that's very important. That run scored is what makes Central Connecticut State a tough ball club. Top of that order, Steckbauer gets on, and he usually scores when he does. So that's going to be a key for Hoyman to keep him off base.
And the first pitch of the regional. Fastball that runs inside for ball 1. Underway at 4:08 Eastern Time with our first pitch today. Now Steckbauer is a very patient hitter. That's the book on him. He's a very prototypical type leadoff guy, and that he will make you throw strikes. And Hoyman has missed on the first 2 pitches.
I'm talking about Coach Hickey right there. What a great season he's had. Outstanding record. And again, no stranger to the NCAA regionals. He's been here before.
The 2-1 pitch. He bunts, pops it up. A long run for Tucker and a dive, but he can't get there. Outstanding play. Johnny Tucker had to run about 50 feet. The ball wasn't hit more than about 20 feet in the air.
Well, Johnny Tucker's done a great job defensively for the Gators. This is a tough position to learn how to play, and Tuck has had really no experience up to this year and has been just a mainstay, just laying it out. He knows it's the NCAA regionals. It's the first step on the road to Omaha right here, and you can see the uniform's already dirty.
And his mother and father are here from the Bay Area, out of the Northern California area. The 2-2 pitch from Hoyman. Central Connecticut State won the Northeast Conference tournament and got beat by Wagner in the first game 9-4. So they won 4 in a row, including beating Wagner twice last Sunday, 5-4 and 10-3. High bouncing ball, a 1-hop to Torty, and the Florida shortstop who led the Southeastern Conference in assists throws out Steckbauer.
Yeah, very underrated shortstop in the Southeastern Conference. He didn't even get first or second team, but I'll tell you what, for my money, Justin Torty's the guy I wanted shortstop. He makes all the plays over there, makes all the routine and some nice ones to boot. Made a great play in the conference tournament. That is about as good a play as I've seen, starting that double play in one of the games. It was a fantastic play by Torty.
Rob Hosgood now, the hitter, batting .379. Hosgood leading the club with 9 home runs, 48 runs batted in. He was the first player ever in the history of the Northeast Conference to be named All-Conference 4 years in a row. And Hoyman throws 2 strikes to start it off.
And he's a guy, you know, the Gators need to keep off base because he's a great base stealer. 17 out of 19 in that department.
Fouled it back. Pat McMahon in his 8th straight regional appearance.
And talking about being here before, Pat is a mainstay in the NCAA regionals because he's a great coach and another great job this season.
The 0-2 pitch, breaking ball, and he tried to pull it. Easily done for C.J. Smith at first base. 2 up and 2 down. That'll bring up the Central Connecticut State catcher, Tim DeQuilla. DeQuilla, a lot like the Gators' Ben Harrison in that he's a 4-year guy. First team all Northeast Conference, 3 years running. He's hitting .318. 2 homers, 54 runs batted in, and that led the league in RBI. He went 6 for 19 in the Northeast Conference tournament in the 5 games the Blue Devils played.
And talking to Charlie Hick, he said this guy's our leader. He's the guy that runs the ball club behind the plate, handles the pitchers well. He's their heart and soul.
Ball is hit well, right center field. Corselletti knocks it down. D'Aquila, not with great speed, will satisfy himself there with a double into right center field. And it's the 3rd straight week the Gators have played in a very cavernous ballpark, having played at Lindsey Nelson Stadium in Knoxville in the regular season finale, and then the Hoover Met, and now here at the Bricktown ballpark.
And Coach Hickey told me, he said when you watch D'Aquila, he's going to spray the ball, and he splits the gaps and gets it by Corselletti right here. 16th double of the year for him.
And for the Blue Devils, that is their 100th double on the season. Here's Phil Rothkugel. Rothkugel is hitting .318, 4 homers, and 49 runs batted in. First team all-conference. They dominated the Northeast Conference. And now Hoyman, by dropping the ball, has been called for a balk. So they get a runner at third base with 2 out on the balk charge to Hoyman.
And if they could push that run across, that'd be a big boost for the Blue Devils.
The 1-0 pitch to Rothkugel is slapped foul left side.
The Blue Devils know this, that they're facing the 1 seed. Now you watch, if he drops the ball, which he does right there, there's your ball. Fill into it. If they can start gaining a little bit of confidence, feel like they belong, it goes a long way if they can score early.
Bounding ball. Davis playing on the outfield grass will throw him out. And so it was a harmless 2-out double, an equally harmless balk. 1 hit, no runs, a man left at third. Middle of the 1st, Central Connecticut State nothing. The Gators coming up. Well, the Gators are here in Oklahoma City. Central Connecticut scoreless in the top of the 1st in Pat McMahon's Gator batting order. Brought to you by Bell South Answers. Bell South, listening, answering. Johnny Tucker at third base leads off. Adam Davis at second base, batting second. C.J. Smith at first, hits third. In right field, batting cleanup is Ben Harrison. Jeff Corselletti back in the lineup in center field, hitting 5th. Matt Laporta plays left field today, bats 6th. Justin Torti batting 7th. Brian Giralman hitting 8th. And the DH today is Stephen Barton. The outfield for the Blue Devils, left to right, Tom Pizzella, Brad Muldoon, and Rob Hosgood. The infield from 3rd to 1st, Matt Mimley, Keith Stegbauer, Dan Tarnowski, Phil Rothkugel, the catcher Tim D'Aquila, and on the mound is Louis Paparella, 6'3", 195-pound right-hander from Palmyra, Pennsylvania. 7 wins, 2 losses, 3.56 is ERA. This is his 11th start of the year. Opponents are hitting only .240 against him. He doesn't throw many balls, only 13 walks, 42 strikeouts. And Johnny Tucker to lead things off for Florida, hitting at .278 on the year.
And stat-wise, Paparella isn't even the main guy on their staff as far as statistics, but he's a guy that's been to the regionals and he's pitched in regionals.
Tucker was 6 for 18 in the SEC tournament. .333 batting average. And over the last 8 games, .333 average. He has 12 hits his last 36 at-bats. Hit sharply and backhanded by Mimley at third. And the throw pulls him off. Tucker tried to slide in. Got out at first base.
Mimley makes a great play. This gets down the line. If he doesn't get his glove on it, and Tucker's looking at a leadoff double perhaps. So big play right there to get the leadoff out.
That'll bring up Adam Davis. Hitting .323. Was just 4 for 16 in the SEC tournament. He shows bunt for ball 1. Davis named to the SEC All-Freshman team. The Gators are hitting .306. Central Connecticut State, the best hitting team statistically in the field, hitting .326. They're 12th in the NCAA are the Blue Devils, so they've hit it well. And the Gators were second in the league in the SEC this year at hitting.
Wow, that's strange for him.
Straight.
Yeah.
So the Gators have their first base runner of the game.
Only his 14th walk of the season for Paparelli, and he did it in 4 straight pitches, and that's got to be nerves.
Well, that's been one of the problems for the Central Connecticut State staff, although not necessarily at all for today's pitcher in Paparella. But overall, they have less than a 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio, so they permit too many free passes. As C.J. Smith will step in, batting at .347. 14 home runs and 62 runs batted in to lead the ball club in RBI.
Well, the order today here in a perfect scenario for Pat McMahon is to jump on this team early and start setting the tone, and then just add to the lead. When you're a 1 seed playing a 4 seed in the NCAA regionals, you always want to make sure that you'd like to jump on it early and show your dominance. Once it gets close, as the innings go, then the confidence builds, obviously, of the underdog, which is Central Connecticut here.
That had been 6 consecutive balls thrown by Paparella. So let's see what CJ does here on 2-1. And he missed outside.
And CJ's got to be real smart here. This has got to be a pitch. I'm sure if it's to his liking, he's going to swing, but he's got to make sure it's one he could drive. 3-1 count, also a great count to run on here. I think they're going to go ahead and try to test Aquila if they can.
And there's ball 4. So back-to-back walks. As Davis moves to second, C.J. Smith on at first. That'll bring up the right fielder Ben Harrison. Pat McMahon knows he's got an excellent chance to move runners along here. Harrison hitting .353. 16 home runs, was 5th in the Southeastern Conference this year. 61 runs batted in.
And Mick, I think Ben Harrison is really showing his maturity as a hitter, as a collegiate baseball player. He's giving probably the best at bats as he's had it in his career, and it's happening right now.
Check swing, and they called it a ball.
Just like this at bat, took a breaking ball, tough breaking ball, but pitcher's pitch, took it. Saw the first pitch, wanted to get a look at Paparella. So the patience here showing on Ben Harrison.
Davis at second, Smith at first, and 1 out. Lou Paparella, the starter for Central Connecticut State. And now he's ahead of Harrison, 1 and 2.
Paparella throws a fastball, a cutter, a cut fastball, and a slider, which is actually going to be a little bit different. It's got a little more movement than the cutter and the change. He's about an 86-mile-an-hour guy.
That's Davis at second, Smith at first. Just missed. 2 and 2.
Well, you know, that's the call you get if you're throwing strikes, and he's been behind the last 2 hitters, and he just didn't get that call. That was a borderline pitch right there. Could have been called a strike.
Harrison with an 11-game hitting streak. Ground ball to the shortstop. Stegbauer boots it, and the bases are loaded. When it left the bat, you thought maybe 6-4-3 double play. They're averaging 1.65 errors a game, .954 fielding percentage, and the Gators have them loaded up.
Well, as you said, routine double play ball right at him, and just took his eye off it. Maybe tried to make the play a little too quick. He had all the time in the world because that ball's hit right at him. But again, this is nerves right here.
Well, Stegbauer has now made his 21st error of the year. That brings up Jeff Corselletti. Has bounced back from a dislocated shoulder at the SEC tournament last weekend.
And Mick, it's interesting. Stegbauer looks like he's wearing sunglasses in the infield. You rarely see that, and it's not all that bright out here. He's got the eye black and the sunglasses.
That could be two. Tarnowski throws to first and safe. Harrison's in a rundown. The run has scored. Here comes another run to the plate, but they've got him. The Gators got only one run out of all of that. Well, now wait just a minute. That's only 2 out. They're going to get the second run, aren't they?
They're going to get the second round because what happened is Central Connecticut thought it was the third out. And it was only 2. They left the field. C.J. Smith scored.
C.J. scored.
But actually, it wasn't. If you're counting Tucker, it should have been the third out because the tag play should have been the third. What I saw on this play was they got the play at first. They got the out there. That was the second out. Then they got Harrison in the rundown. They tagged him. To me, that was the. That would have been the third out.
He was safe at first base.
There you go.
Corselletti was safe at first base.
Then there's the problem.
The Blue Devils thought they got the call, but he is safe at first base.
There it is.
Harrison was out number 2. C.J. Smith, meanwhile, was scoring run number 2.
Assuming they got the play right there. Now, there's C.J. He's going to take off late in the rundown right here. There he goes. Now, they make the tag. But at that point, you see DeQuilla, he's going off. Everyone in Central Connecticut assumed that there was an out call at first base. There was not, and the Gators get a gift run on top of that.
So the situation is that Davis and Smith have scored. Harrison is out number 2. Corselletti is safe at first base. A runner at first with 2 out. The inning continues for left fielder Matt Laporta. That is a fielder's choice for Corselletti.
And that whole thing was made possible by the smart base running of Ben Harrison, who stopped in his tracks, held up what would have been a routine 4-6-3 double play had they decided to go that route. Just by Harrison stopping, that made Tarnowski stop. And that's what made his throw late on Corselletti. It was a bang-bang play. The Blue Devils thought they got the call, ran off the field.
Well, you're right about Ben Harrison. He did hold himself up long enough to extend to the end.
Exactly.
And the Gators got a run when C.J. scored. Corselletti was immediately called safe by the first base umpire. Oh, 0-1 the count on Laporta, getting 283. Laporta really struggled. He hit the home run in his first at-bat at the Hoover Metropolitan Stadium in the SEC tournament, but has gone 0 for 13 since.
And what Matt has to do here, he comes to this ballpark here and he looks down the line, it's 325. And not far further down the line, it's 356 in the alley. He's got to make sure he just hits it hard.
And he struck him out on 3 pitches. But it was a good opening inning here in Oklahoma City for the Gators. Florida scores 2 runs without a hit. And after the first inning, it's the Gators 2, Central Connecticut State nothing. With Nick Belmonte, Mick Hubert back here in Oklahoma City, where the Gators, in a rather bizarre inning, 2 runs, no hits. And Nick, here's how it all extended.
Yeah, you don't see this every day. They got a situation. Tarnowski, the second baseman, holds the runner, throws the first. There's the safe call. So there's still only 1 out. The tag, that's the second out. Stegbauer thinks it's the third out, throws the ball in the mound. C.J. Smith scores from third. Gators have a 2-0 lead.
So there was a physical error. There was a mental error by Central Connecticut State. And Nick, I think you mentioned perhaps a case of the Butterflies. Even though this is an older club that's won the Northeast Conference 3 years in a row, making their 3rd straight appearance in the postseason, still first inning Butterflies.
Yeah, and Charlie Hickey said, look, we know we're not as talented as Florida. We've been to the regionals before. But, you know, we have to put that aside and just play our game and see what happens. But the mental mistakes, you can't do that against a team that's the #1 seed.
Tom Pizzello leading it off in the top of the second. First pitch swinging, has one hit high to right near the line. Harrison about 6 feet fair. The Tampa Bay Lightning's quest for Lord Stanley's Cup continues tomorrow night. Join Paul Kennedy, Rick Peckham, and the Chief Bobby Taylor for pregame coverage of Game 6 during Toyota Lightning Ice Time. Tomorrow night beginning at 7:30, only on Sunshine. Matt Mimley, the third baseman, hitting .371. He fouls this one out of play. Mimley is third in the league in batting average, fifth in the league in hits with 69 hits for the year. Torty, 2-out.
It's just Justin Torty doing what he does, making that routine all day long and into the night.
So quickly, 2 up, 2 down. That'll bring up the center fielder, Brad Muldoon. .340 hitter with a home run, 34 runs battled in. Had a good NEC tournament. He was 4 for 10. In fact, has hit well coming down the stretch. The last 16 games, Muldoon is hitting .370.
Charlie Hickey said, here's their toughest guy. He'll run into a wall.
Hit right down to CJ. This will be an easy inning for Justin Hoyman and the Gators. 3 up, 3 down. After an inning and a half at the Bricktown Ballpark, it's the Gators 2, Central Connecticut State nothing. Watch the Gators in action on Saturday, as well as archived Gator events on Gator Vision Online. And for this weekend only, sign up for the season pass for only $49.95. Log on to Gatorzone.com for details on this exciting video streaming service, Gator Vision Online. Jeff Corselletti's mom and dad in the stands here.
Darren O'Day's dad there.
And Justin Torty to lead it off in the home second inning. And ball one is low. Torty hitting at .303. 3 homers, 38 runs battled in. Gators making their 22nd NCAA appearance and a school record 5th in a row and 8th in the last 9 years. In regional play, the Gators have a record of 48 wins and 36 defeats. Again, Paparello starts off the inning struggling to trying to find the strike zone as he walks Torty on 4 pitches. That's the 3rd walk he's issued already in the game.
Yeah, this is a bad formula right here, and Charlie Hickey, I'm sure, eventually, very soon is going to go out and talk to him, because you can't have this pattern. The Gators will jump all over this if he continues to throw balls.
Well, now here's Brian Giralobin, who was 4th in the SEC this year in sacrifice bunts. He had 10 of them. And that pitch not even close. And now D'Aquila will go out and talk with the pitcher, Louis Paparello. Well, we mentioned how spacious this ballpark is, and boy, it's a beauty. It's very unique. 325 right down each line. But then it really starts jetting out. You see 356, then it goes to 365, and 415 just left of straightaway center. It is 400 in straightaway center. There's your 400 mark. And just to the right of that, 405 before coming back to 363 and then an angle to 325. So a lot of caroms out there, and very unique ballpark and one of the most beautiful in minor league baseball.
And it's going to take to get it out of here. Balls hit down the line. And that's the problem with a lot of hitters here, because it is, you can see the short porches down the line. As a hitter, you want to make sure you're not trying to pull off everything. You want to just try to hit it hard up the middle. If you turn on it, you turn on it. It'll go.
Well, he's just thrown 8 straight balls to start the second inning.
Well, that's an amazing thing. Yeah, here's a pitch right here, and he just has not found it. That ball's clearly inside, and that's 4 base on balls for a guy that came into the game with 13 on the season.
That'll bring up Stephen Barton, batting .267. And strike one finally thrown.
And Barton's a guy, he's the type of guy that he can turn on one and pull it down the line and get it out of here. Maybe one of the reasons why he's in the lineup today, besides being a money player.
Blocked by DeQuilla.
It was Stephen Barton last year down the regionals in Miami that just went off, and they couldn't get him out.
Gators got 2 first-inning runs without a hit. They have the making for runs here so far in the second inning without a hit. That is bounced foul. 1-2 the count on Barton.
Well, what Pat McMahon in this sequence was trying to do, he felt like the pitcher was struggling. He was going to lay one in there to try to get ahead, and decided not to move the runners up.
Good cut. And Barton has struck out.
Because when you got a pitcher out there struggling, he's going to lay one right over the plate. And Pat was hoping that Barton would turn on one there, but Pepperell showed his mettle and got a tough out right there in a tough situation.
That is his second strikeout, and back to the top of the batting order now. Here's Johnny Tucker. Third baseman Mimley is playing rather shallow in on the grass. And strike one to Tucker.
You can see him right there. Now he's backing up. But, you know, one strike, you always see the third baseman back up. That's always a good time to lay one down.
In the SEC tournament, the Gators hit just .239. They averaged 4.3 runs. And in the final 14 games, the Gators are hitting just .276. Tough play, kind of a swinging bunt. Will advance the runners to second and third for Florida, but now 2 out.
Pepperell does a nice job here. He's got a speedy runner, and he's got to get the ball on the run, stop, gather himself to get in position to make a good throw. Now watch him right here. He's on the run, he stops, he doesn't rush it, and makes a nice throw.
Well, now it's up to Adam Davis. Well, you'd hate to get 2 leadoff walks to start the inning and fail to score. Torrey at third, Geralman at second with 2 out, and Davis, who was walked on 4 pitches the first time. This pitch comes in high and tight, and it hit the bat on a check swing, and so it's an unfortunate strike one to Adam Davis.
This would be a huge lift for the Blue Devils if they can get out of this inning. Let's see the pitch right here. He tries to check it. It's one of those where you know it's a ball and it gets a piece of your bat and you're like, oh man.
Bounced foul in the dugout at first base. Look out down there for the Blue Devils. The count is 0-2. So the Gators hoping for a clutch 2-out hit. A single would bring in 2 more runs, perhaps.
And Mick, this could be a big at bat in the sequence of this ball game here, because if the Gators do get 2 runs with a 2-out base hit, now you're looking at a 4-0 game.
Fly ball to center field. Muldoon is there, and Central Connecticut State gets out of the inning. Back-to-back walks to open the inning. No runs, no hits, but 2 men left after 2 innings. Florida 2, Central Connecticut State nothing. Above the Rim Classics, a summer showcase of memorable Florida and Florida State basketball games, debuts Monday night on Sunshine. We turn back the clock to 1997 when the Gators fought off a second-half rally from Mississippi State. The Gators and the Bulldogs from 1997, Monday night at 8, only on Sunshine. We have Sunshine over Oklahoma City now in the Bricktown Ballpark, top of the 3rd inning, and the Gators leading 2-0. John Blaze, the DH, will lead it off for the Blue Devils. And the first pitch bounces one to Torti, who will throw him out.
And that's what's happening, because Hoyman's not even breaking a sweat out there. Torti with his usual good routine play, but a lot of first pitch swinging out of the Blue Devils.
Hoyman has made only 20 pitches so far. Here's the 9-hole hitter, second baseman Dan Tarnowski. Tarnowski hitting .228. He went 5 for 13 in the NEC tournament, but really hit well down the stretch. He's 9 for his last 23. And Hoyman quickly falls behind 2-0.
Tarnowski was the shortstop last year. Kind of lost his job this year and battled back and won it back and had a good tournament for the Northeast League Championship.
He had a good title game. Tarnowski went 2 for 2 and drew a pair of walks in the championship victory over Wagner. He's 5 feet 8. And Hoyman throws one right through there. Central Connecticut State makes its third NCAA appearance. They've yet to win a regional game. Big hop for CJ. 2 out. Nice job for Hoyman to battle back from that 3-0 deficit. Charlie Hickey was at Providence before taking the reins at Central Connecticut State. In 3 league championships. Top of the batting order now, Keith Stegbauer, who grounded out to Justin Torti to start the game. Central Connecticut State has won 12 of its last 16 games. They played well away from their campus ballpark too. They're 25-8 on the road. That's a big bounding ball that'll chop over Tucker's head for a base hit in the left with 2 out.
This is Stegbar doing what he does, and that's getting on base.
And you've got to do that 4 out of every 10 trips to the plate when you're hitting above 400 as he is.
It's right on the hard ground around home plate. Ball bounds over Tucker's head. He has no shot. But the Blue Devils now trying to mount a rally with 2 outs, and they got their best hitters in succession: Stegbar, Hosgood, and Aquila.
Rob Hosgood bounced out to first base in the first inning. Hosgood led the league in home runs with 9. He was second in the league in runs batted in. Led the league in total bases. He had quite a game earlier this year against Hartford. He went 5 for 7 in the game, which in itself is quite a day. He had 2 home runs, 9 runs batted in that game on March the 12th. Hit down the left field line. That is a foul ball by just about a foot. Again, there's not a lot of foul territory room here between the foul line and the wall.
And the way that ball had spin on it, Mick, that hit the line, and if that's fair, you could have a precarious hop going on. And with Stegbauer running with 2 outs, that could have cut the lead in half.
The way that grass is angle cut and then running down the line with the line on the skin portion is identical to the way it is cut at the ballpark in Arlington, which is the parent home of the Oklahoma Redhawks. The Rangers ballpark is cut just exactly like that down the lanes, where you see the actual foul line not on grass but on the skin portion.
Yeah, and that's why they have it here. Just want to get their infielders and outfielders used to those dimensions.
You saw that logo. The Mets, the Indians, and now the Rangers have all been affiliated with the Oklahoma City franchise over the years. 1-2 the count.
Former Gator player Bruce Crabb is the hitting coach here at Oklahoma City. We'll probably visit with him tomorrow.
The ballpark is bounded by streets named Mickey Mantle, Johnny Bench, and Joe Carter. That's 3 of the 4 streets around the ballpark. 2-2 on Hosgood. More numbers from the Hosgood file. 275 hits, second all time in school history. Corselletti drifting back and will make the catch. The wind is a crosswind blowing from the right field foul pole toward the left field foul pole. 1 hit, no runs, a man left after 2 1/2 innings. It remains the Gators 2, the Blue Devils nothing. GatorZone.com is the place to go for the latest news on Gator sports. Plus, you can order all your Gator merchandise. GatorZone.com, the official website of the Florida Gators. With Nick Belmonte, I'm Mick Hubert, back here in Oklahoma City. Tough ball game today. The Gators leading 2-0, but Nick, their guy is throwing a no-hitter right now. Lou Paparella.
Yeah, Lou Paparella uncharacteristically 4 walks on the day, but got out of last inning. It was like Houdini, 2 walks and did not allow a run.
It'll be C.J. Smith to lead it off here in the home 3rd inning against Lou Paparella. Paparella from Palmyra, Pennsylvania.
An interesting guy, too. Was a quarterback on the college football team at Central Connecticut State.
Well, the Georgia Bulldogs, who scored 1 run in 27 innings at the SEC tournament, hosting a regional, hit Middle Tennessee with 9 runs in the 2nd inning. 9 runs 2nd inning, and they go to the bottom of the 4th now in Athens. It's Georgia 9, Middle Tennessee nothing.
And yeah, Georgia struggled offensively in the SEC tournament, and there you go, kick started.
There's a strike. Meanwhile, Mississippi State, which surprised a lot of folks by getting in trailing. They're in the 5th inning. It's Texas Tech 6 and Mississippi State 1. Back up the middle, out into center field, a base hit for CJ. So he breaks up the no-hitter.
Just ground ball hard up the middle and didn't try to do too much with it. You can see right here, right back from where it came. Got by Stegbauer out in center field. And Gators in business here in the 3rd.
Now here's Ben Harrison. Safe on an error by shortstop Keith Stegbauer back in the 1st.
And it was Ben's good base running which led to another Gator run as he got caught in a rundown long enough to let C.J. Smith score.
Strike on the corner at the knees. Paparella 44 pitches. You can see he's around 50-50 on the ball strike. Two and two the count. Harrison, 11-game hitting streak coming into the game, hitting .341 during the streak. Out towards second, Tarnowski onto Stegbauer. There'll be no relay as they force out C.J. Smith for the first out of the inning.
Nice play by Tarnowski right there. That ball had a lot of spin on it and went and got the lead runner. Sometimes those balls are hit off the end of the bat like that are very tricky to get in your glove and they spin out. It just makes the play on CJ to get the force. So Tarnowski heads up play at second base. They said they can't keep this kid out of the lineup. They take him out and he battles his way back in. He said just a scrapper.
Here's Jeff Corselletti. Safe on a fielder's choice. A bizarre at bat in the first inning. Blue Devils thought they had the final out of the inning and walked off the field, allowed C.J. Smith to score a second Gator run in the inning.
The Gators need to start bunching some hits here. Paparella starting to get in a little groove and hanging around.
There goes the runner. The pitch bounced, and first baseman Kugel makes a great play. Phil Rothkugel got up and perhaps took a hit from Corsoletti. Harrison moving on the play, advancing into scoring position now. Harrison at second base.
Yeah, Rothkugel, watch him right over here. Ball hit hard. It looks like it might go over his head. Rothkugel playing in because he had to hold Harrison on. Just gets it in his glove, beats Corsoletti to the bag. If that gets by, Gators in business.
Runner at second base now, 2 out. Is Harrison in your picture now at second? Here's Matt Laporta. And he chases the breaking ball down in the dirt.
Yeah, first pitch breaking ball. And right now he's kind of in a funk. And, you know, he sees that short left field area, and it's just very inviting. And you got to forget about that here.
Foul that one back. And that may have been a pitch that Paparella made a mistake on.
Yeah, defensive swing right there. And, you know, right now, you know, Matt just needs to think about hitting the ball right up the middle. That's what we're talking about. 325 right down the line, not very far for Matt Laporta. Get it way further than that, and he's just going to get that out of his head and just try to hit it up the middle.
He laid off that dirt ball. 1-2 the count.
You wait on the ball longer. Don't try to yank it, pull your head. What'll happen is you'll end up hitting it out anyway because you'll make good solid contact. Your natural ability for getting the bat head out will carry it out.
Again, he holds up, and it's ball 2, strike 2.
Those are good signs right there. Behind in the count, taking 2 pitches that were pitchers' pitches.
This is the 16th Gators squad in history to win 40 games. That one was popped up, but it looks like it's coming back behind the dugout. It'll be into the second deck here at the Bricktown Ballpark. Oklahoma, UCLA will follow next in the second game of the day. It rained throughout the morning and didn't stop raining until about an hour and a half before the start of the game. Neither team could have their scheduled on the field batting practice. That ball hit sharply down the left field line and a fair ball. Harrison around third is going to score easily. Matt Laporta with a clutch double down the left field line, and the Gators lead 3-0.
A good at bat for Laporta right there. It fell behind in the count. Harrison scoring with ease. Now the Gators with a 3-run lead. You can see him a little out in front, but enough on the off-speed pitch to get it down the line. You can see that ball carry him. Ben's going to round third, and he can walk home at that point.
That'll bring up Justin Tordy. Another hit could score another run.
And it's a hit like that by Laporta.
They called a balk.
He didn't stop.
That's not going to be a strike on Tordy. It's going to be a balk to send Laporta to third.
Laporta, that at bat right there could kickstart him into a good series here.
Well, he can credit himself for holding up on the breaking ball. When he disciplined himself twice, Nick, he got a pitch in the strike zone and he could pull down the line.
Exactly, and again, his patience paid off. Right here, Justin's got to think right side. Just try to go with the pitch. Just put it in play.
Tarnowski will make the play, and that'll retire the side. But in the Gators' third inning, they finally get a hit and they score another run. Matt Laporta's RBI, and after 3, Florida 3, Central Connecticut State nothing. Well, there's the memorial here in Oklahoma City. A story from April 19th of 1995. The Oklahoma City Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building bombing. And it's quite a sight here, Nick, in downtown Oklahoma City.
Yeah, this 9 rows of chairs represent the 168 that passed away. I was very moving. I was there earlier this morning.
And they have really, of course, it's something that Americans will never forget. But here in the heartland, they have really rebuilt and revitalized this downtown. And it is just remarkable what has been going on the last decade here in the Oklahoma City downtown area. First pitch again is grounded out to the Gators' second baseman Adam Davis, and Tim DeQuilla is out on a 4-3 play. And Justin Hoyman right now is making some real quick work of these Blue Devils.
Yeah, and Mick, if you want to sit out your perfect regional scenario, you want your starter on opening day to throw as many pitches as possible and get through this game. Keep the bullpen a rest and have a little life in case you need him somewhere down the road.
Phil Rothkugel now made that fine play defensively last inning. Steps in, and well, he showed some great dexterity, if you will, for a guy who's listed as 6'2" and 235 pounds. Out of Bristol, Connecticut. 2-0 the count. He hit a home run in both ends of a doubleheader against Monmouth on May 1st. This ball is drilled into left center field. Got extra bases written all over it. Laporta, short of the track, will pick it up, and Rothkugel has an opposite field double to one of the deepest parts of this ballpark here in left center.
Split the gap in left, went down and got that pitch and drove it well. He's made a nice play defensively and comes up with a scorching double. You can see he goes down and gets that ball. You can see Laporta right there gets it right before he gets to the track, but he's so far away he has no chance.
You know, he leads their ball club now in doubles with 16. That'll bring up Tom Pizzello, the left fielder. He fouls it out of play to the right.
Well, no question here, the Blue Devils going after the first pitch as they have from the get-go.
Pizzello had a day he'll never forget on April 10th against Sacred Heart. 6 hits in 6 at-bats. At the knees for a called strike 2. Gators leading 3-0 in the top of the 4th. That's Rothkugel at second base. 1 out for Central Connecticut State.
It's a lot of fun for these players. They come into regionals and they see their name and face on the scoreboards here, and you know, it really just has that big league feel. Not to mention just looking around at the stadium itself.
That'll move the runner along. Davis will throw out Pizzello. 2 away. As Rothkugel now at third base. That'll bring up the Blue Devil third baseman, Matt Mimley. Mimley went after the first pitch he saw in the second inning and grounded out to Justin Torty.
Well, Coach Hickey said he's got the best swing on the club. And they just like the way this guy plays. Just solid performer.
Third in the league in hitting at .371 coming into the game. Gators got 2 runs without a hit in the first inning, and then added another run last inning for the 3-0 lead.
I think the Blue Devils are going to really need. That's what I was talking about. There's Matt Mimley on the scoreboard, and that's just, you know, that's big league right there. And I'm sure for a lot of these players, it's the first time they've had that.
And Hoyman now struggling. Ball 3, no strikes.
And walk here brings a tying run to the plate. Just want to go after him. One pitch at a time.
And he walked him on 4 straight. That's the first walk allowed by Hoyman. He has yet to strike out anyone. And that'll bring up center fielder Brad Muldoon. Muldoon 0 for 1.
This is not a guy with home run power here. Only 1 home run this year. But a guy that's a leadoff type guy. He was their leadoff hitter a year ago.
And strike 1. Last year, Muldoon hit .324. Second in the league last year in hits with 66. 2 years ago, he played at the Community College of Rhode Island. Hit weakly to first and a foul ball.
CJ's already had 3 different times where he's gotten a ground ball and got a 3 unassisted out. So a lot of balls going that way, which means a lot of life on the Justin Hoyman ball, and a lot of these hitters having a tough time catching up to it.
Well, here's where he needs to go ahead and just punch him out. Rothkugel at third, Mimildy at first, 2 out. And the 0-2 pitch. Upstairs. The Gators had 7 complete game pitching performances this year. That was the most on the club since 1993, when they had 9. In the SEC tournament, the staff ERA was 2.75. In games this year in which the Gators starting pitcher has gone 6 innings or more, the record is 18-5. Of course, Hoyman is a guy who has 5 complete games and generally pitches well into the 7th or 8th innings every time. Slow roller. Davis got a hustle, comes in and makes the play, retires the side. Nicely done. No runs, 1 hit, 2 men left aboard for Central Connecticut State. We move to the bottom half of the 4th with our score: the Gators 3 and the Blue Devils 0. The Tampa Bay Lightning's quest for Lord Stanley's Cup continues tomorrow night. Join Paul Kennedy, Rick Peckham, and the Chief, Bobby Taylor, for pregame coverage of Game 6 during Toyota Lightning Ice Time. Tomorrow night, beginning at 7:30, only on Sunshine. Well, the Gators are in force here in Oklahoma City, and so far, so good. Gators leading 3-0 here at the beautiful Bricktown Ballpark, the home of the Oklahoma Redhawks, the AAA affiliate of the Texas Rangers. The Redhawks are finishing up a road trip tonight and will be back here tomorrow night, and they're going to have quite a busy ballpark here tomorrow. There's 3 NCAA regional games scheduled, plus a minor league game. And the Redhawks also have a game Sunday before the championship game of the regional tournament.
I hope their groundskeeper is getting his sleep. I don't know where he's going to have time, but wow. That's a possible, what, 7 games? 48 hours?
Brian Girolamo leads off the bottom of the 4th inning against Louis Paparella, who has struggled with his control, but on the one hand, he's got to be fortunate. He's only trailing by 3 runs. He's given up 4 walks, and they made an error behind him. Gators have just 2 hits. They got them both last inning. A single and a crucial 2-out RBI double by Matt Laporta. The 1-1 pitch bounces in.
Girolamo has had such a great year, all freshman SEC as a catcher. Came in here following Brian Rose, which had an outstanding career, and man, I'll tell you, He's really had an outstanding season.
Dan Tarnowski will throw him out. The first out here in the fourth inning.
Well, Paparella has been settling down. The former quarterback at Central Connecticut played there a year and a half and walked into Coach Hickey's office and said, "I'm going to try baseball. I want to play some baseball." So he's a fifth-year senior.
Stephen Barton struck out swinging his only trip to the plate today. Shows bunt, pushes it third base side. Mimile, nice play, and a great scoop by Ralph Kugel, who has really flashed some leather at first base. That's a fine play by the Blue Devils to take a hit from Barton.
Well, Mimile looked like he knew this was coming because he was racing in. Nice play off balance, and on the back end, as you said, Rothkugel with a great pickup, showing some nifty first base play. And you know what? When you drop a bunt down, that's right where you want to have it. So he was ready for it. Mimile was looking for the bunt and got it.
2 out, nobody aboard for Johnny Tucker. Hard smash. Stegbauer will not be able to handle it. They've scored that a base hit for Tucker.
You know, as Keith's taking the sunglasses off here, go figure the sun has come out, but that ball ate him up. It was hit as like a bullet. He gets on top of this pitch right here. Tried to backhand it, and it just rode up. Tough play. Johnny Tucker with 2 outs. I would think he's going to pick a pitch and take off here.
There's a bouncing ball, and Tarnowski can't field it. Here comes Tucker around. He'll make third. Adam Davis with a seeing eye single in the right field. And with 2 out, the Gators have a rally with runners on the corners.
Adam did a nice job right there, hitting this hard ground. Gators used to hard infields. They have one at the MAC in Gainesville. This one here just eats up the second baseman, Tarnowski. That rotation hop. Well, I wonder what it's going to be like after about 5 or 6 games. It's going to be really hard on Sunday.
Well, here's C.J. Smith's had a perfect day today. A walk and a run scored and a base hit. A hit here could give the Gators another run. Florida has stranded runners in every base, 4 of them in the first 3 innings. They left 1 on in the first, 2 in the second, and another last inning. There's Davis at first, and a strike called.
Needless to say, any kind of extra base hit would be a big blow. Put the Gators up at least 5 if he can split a gap somewhere with the speed of Davis at first. There's Tucker at third.
In the dirt. Nobody will advance. Didn't get far enough from D'Aquila.
And Pat McMahon's got a decision to make here. 2-1. Does he want to send his runner? I think D'Aquila at this point would go ahead and just let Davis steal. That play has already been predetermined by Coach Hickey.
Up and away. It's now ball 3 and strike 1. One more like that would load them up for Ben Harrison.
Ben's chomping at the bit, I'm sure, on deck.
Dropped the breaking ball right in there.
And the on-deck hitter, Ben Harrison, is almost right behind home plate. This is a very unique situation. He has almost a view of every pitch. He's just out of the shot right there. That's about as close as I've seen an on-deck hitter looking at a pitcher's pitch.
Time had been called.
The actual on-deck scenario, batter, you can see right there. There's Corsoletti. Now you can see Ben on the bottom, and he's peeking there. He's getting a nice little view.
He's got a Ben's eye view.
He sure does.
Full count pitch. And he walked in to load them up.
And it's almost like Ben has had a nice view of the last 4 or 5 pitches from where he was watching them.
Boy, Paparella, he's a tight wire artist, isn't he?
Oh, man.
Walking a tightrope.
Yeah, he's been Houdini today.
He's given up 5 walks, and he's hanging on. The bases are now loaded for Harrison, and time being called as the pitching coach, Jim Ziogas, goes out to talk with Luis Paparella. Nick, we were told an interesting story on travel arrangements. Of course, the Gators struggled in some ways to reach it here. Had to bus to Orlando, fly to Dallas, and then bus during a very nasty storm from Dallas to Oklahoma City. The Central Connecticut club, they flew direct from Connecticut to Dallas and had a nice flight here. But Paparella was taking a test, and he had to come later. And he showed up yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, he had to come later, spend the night in Dallas, and then show up yesterday. And he is an excellent student, probably the best student on the ball club.
All right, here we go. Bases loaded for Ben Harrison. And he hangs the breaking ball right in there.
And I like that, Ben. That was a pitcher's pitch. Go ahead and take that first pitch breaking ball.
He laid off that one, 1-1 the count.
Yeah, this is what I'm seeing from Ben the last half of his senior season. It looks like he's ready for the next level, which will be probably in about 2 to 3 weeks.
The 1-1 pitch. Here's a throwback to first, and the runner, CJ, diving back safely. The book on the Quilla is he has a great arm, but often a slow release to get it out of the glove.
Yeah.
But he does have a very strong arm.
Yeah, they say he's got a strong arm, and a lot of times that slow release will not work.
Hit sharply down the right field line. This could clear the bases, perhaps. Tucker is in. Davis is in. C.J. Smith will now be held. Harrison stops at second. He's got a 2-out, 2-run double down the right field line, and the Gators now lead 5-0.
Right there, a great job of hitting, a great at-bat. Worked it to where he took a pitch, didn't try to pull it, almost inside out of that pitch right there, and got it down the line. A great at-bat, a study of patience as you see C.J. Smith being held up at third. Ben Harrison has really, really matured as a hitter, and I'm sure Tommy Slater, Gator hitting coach, has had a big influence on his maturation.
Now here's Jeff Corselletti. All this happening after the first 2 Gators were out. Corselletti swings. It's a high fly ball. Right field going back. It is gone. Oh, my. Jeff Corselletti has turned on one and hit one 375 feet over the right center field fence. A 3-run home run, and the Gators now lead 8-0.
Corso just jumps on this thing. Needless to say, the best hit ball so far in the Oklahoma City Regional.
That's his
fastball.
5th home run of the year.
Yeah, and he just launches this thing. See, Hosgood just gives it a look and says, uh-oh, heading to the empty bullpen.
Now here's Matt Laporta. Well, they finally made them pay for the walks. Corselletti, a happy guy. A week ago, he was in pain with a bum shoulder. It was a dislocated shoulder, but it was a remarkable recovery. He virtually had no pain at the time, and they put it back in place. No pain. The next morning, no pain. But Nick, when you saw him come off the field in Birmingham, it looked like he might be sidelined for the rest of the season. They say what really helped was it was his back shoulder and also non-throwing shoulder.
And didn't keep aggravating that shoulder.
And the bullpen busy. Scott Battelli warming up now for the Blue Devils. That's Battelli. Laporta went reaching for that. The Gators, when hitting a home run this year, a record of 30-10. And when they score first this year, this is really one of those interesting stats. When the Gators have scored first, they're 24-4. When the opponent scores first, the record is 16 wins and 16 losses. They have the big momentum now in the game, leading 8-0 in the fourth. Laporta again showing discipline.
And I like that too, because the game now 8-0. You know, he could have been just trying to be anxious, but starting to get a little more confident up there. Then the patience will really pay off down the road.
Throw back to first. They've got him hung up. It's 2, 3, 4, and 6 to retire the side. But an inning which started rather harmlessly turns into a big inning for the Gators. Harrison with a 2-run double, and Corselletti with this 3-run home run as the Gators score 5, and we go to the 5th. 8-0 Florida. Catch the latest on Gator Sports by tuning into Gator Zone, presented by Cox Communications and Dodge, right here on Sunshine. James Bates and Larry Battelle look back at weekend results and look ahead to upcoming events. There's Jeff Corselletti with the big home run as the Gators lead 8-0. And that's the version of on the roof of Wrigley. On the roof here of the parking garage beyond the left field wall at the Bricktown Ballpark here in Oklahoma City.
It'll be the Drifters then.
I think it will. John Blaze will lead it off, and he swings on the first pitch. There's Torty.
That's what Pat McMahon, Ross Jones would like to have. Justin just breezing through, minimizing as many pitches as he can.
Unofficially, I had him with 49 pitches in the first 4 innings. And here's Dan Tarnowski, second baseman, who bounced out to C.J. Smith at first in the 3rd inning. Under bright sunny skies right now here in downtown Oklahoma City. Central Connecticut State, we mentioned, making 3rd NCAA appearance. They played in Tempe last year against Arizona State. There's a base hit to the left for Tarnowski. So Tarnowski now 10 for his last 25 coming down the stretch, hitting well for the Blue Devils.
See Tarnowski right there, pitches up and rides it out to left.
Justin Hoyman now with 52 pitches. 8-0 lead here in the 5th. Top of the batting order, Keith Stegbauer. Swings on the first pitch, hits it weakly out in front of the plate. Hoyman can't pick it up. I thought the ball was fouled off the hitter, but apparently it didn't hit the batter, but just kind of deadened itself in the dirt area. Hoyman was going to come off the mound and have to make a tough play. And now they get runners at first and second. They're going to charge Hoyman with an error on the play.
Well, what they're saying right here is that he did have time to make this play. A lot of times when it's borderline like that and it goes to the pitcher, they'll score it a hit, but not this time.
Well, here's Rob Hosgood, the right fielder, who's 0 for 2 in the game. Gators led the SEC in double plays this year. They turned 70 of them. And their defense was a tale of 2 halves. In the first 30 games, the Gators made 50 errors, a .960 fielding percentage. But in the final 30 games, just 41 errors, a .967 fielding clip. They improved dramatically defensively. And there's a base hit to center field, going to score a run. Here comes Tarnowski around. He'll break up the shutout, and the Gator lead is now cut to 8-1 as Rob Osgood has his 49th run batted in.
Well, all conference outfielder all 4 years. You see Tarnowski getting the glad hand. You can see him go, making a pitch and right up the middle. Good piece of hitting, and Tarnowski's going to score easily from third. Blue Devils' first run of the tournament.
Now here's the catcher, Tim DeQuilla. He had a 2-out double in the first. 1 for 2 for DeQuilla, the native of Middletown, Connecticut. Bouncing ball to Tucker. Tough play. He's got one in front of him. Long throw and safe at first. He got the lead runner Stegbauer, but the fielder's choice for DeQuilla.
Tuck did all he could do right here. He got the lead guy, and then he figured he'd be able to go ahead and get him. That's a pretty close play over there. Now the other option was to go 4-3 and try to complete it that way, but play was in front of him and he felt he could get DeQuilla.
That brings up Phil Rothkugel. He had a double the last time up. In the 7th inning, it's UCF 7, Oklahoma State 1 in Tallahassee. Georgia has added 5 more runs. It is now Georgia 14 and Middle Tennessee nothing. That game is in the 7th in Athens.
And at Central Florida Club, they got Fox and Bono. They're 1-2 pitchers. They're dangerous in a tournament situation. Jay Bergman got a nice club going there. They could be the dark horse in that Tallahassee region.
LSU leading Army 3-0 in the 6th inning in Baton Rouge. Two balls, one strike. And quite a game in Columbia, South Carolina. North Carolina got a run in the bottom of the 9th inning. North Carolina 5, Coastal Carolina 5 in the bottom of the 9th in Columbia. 2 on, 2 out, 2-2 pitch. And a full count to Rothkugel.
A wide one here loads the bases. A big pitch upcoming. They'll be off and running.
And they had him at second base, but Hoyman didn't make the throw.
Well, 3-2 they were going to take off, so Hoyman with a pickoff move right there. No one at home.
Gators leading 8-1. There you see the runners. Osgood at second, DeQuilla at first. And the 3-2 pitch way outside. So Hoyman was very judicious in the number of pitches in each of the first 4 innings, but they're making him work here in the 5th. Ironically, after he had been staked to an 8-run lead.
And this is where it gets a little testy right here. You see Pat McMahon's like, got the 8-run lead. We should be able to close the door here.
Tom Pizzello now the hitter. And strike one.
If you're a coach, last thing you want to see is base on balls with a big lead. So I'm sure they want Hoyman to challenge him here.
Osgood at third, DeQuilla at second, Rothkugel at first. 2 out, a run in. High bounding ball, Torty to take the measure and then make the play himself. Well, he just Mr. Surehands at shortstop. In the inning, 1 run. And 2 hits in the air and 3 Blue Devils left on base. We're halfway home. It's the Gators 8, Central Connecticut State 1. With Nick Belmonte, I'm Mick Hubert back here at the Bricktown Ballpark in Oklahoma City. The Gators leading 8-1 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Elsewhere, it was a 6-5 game there between the Carolinas, and I believe North Carolina, which got 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th, won the game. North Carolina 6, Coastal Carolina 5. Central Florida is leading Oklahoma State 7-3 in the 9th inning. Oral Roberts leading TCU, or beating TCU. That's a final 6-5. Georgia a 15-1 lead over Middle Tennessee State in the 8th inning. Justin Torti hits one off the end of the bat. A little flare. It's going to fall into center field. And now mishandled momentarily by Muldoon. Torti going to get an extra base. And now the ball going to come all the way to the dugout. And the throw to third. He is safe at third. The Blue Devils really kicking it around and throwing it around. And only that protective railing saved them. They made what looked like a sure play at third, a close play at third, but there's Torti at third with nobody out.
Talk about making a lot out of a little. This is a little Texas leaguer. Gets by. Torti going hard. Now, if the throw gets in the dugout, he scores. You get one base, and you get the base, you're going +1 from the field. That would have been something.
That's a throwing error on Muldoon. They're going to give Torti a hustle double. The error allowed him to get third, according to the score. So that is a double for Torti. Gators' third double of this game.
I think it goes under the bloop variety.
Now here's the runner breaking to the plate. The throw, he slides. He is going to be safe. It looked like he was going to be out, but then the catcher, D'Aquila, could not handle the ball, and Torti comes across to make it 9-1.
Hustling play by Torti right here as he goes in. Never advise head first sliding in the home plate when someone's blocking. Never a good idea. You could pop a shoulder, break a hand, break a wrist. You're throwing your vulnerable parts of your body into somebody else's body, and a lot of times it's the catcher wearing equipment.
Well, Torti hit the ball off the end of the bat, flared it, was awarded a double, took third on a throwing error by the center fielder, and scored on what was ruled momentarily a wild pitch. It is 9-1. Keith Stegbauer at short to throw out Brian Girolamo.
And going back to that whole situation with Torti, hustles the second, gets the third, hustles on a ball that sometimes, you may not even try, and hustle and got that run. I mean, Torti did about as much as he could do, hustle-wise, all the way around the bases. Great play.
That'll bring up Stephen Barton. He's got the first pitch hit down to Rothkugel. Boy, he's really impressed me. For a big man at first base, he has played outstanding.
His hands are like butter down there. He's got a Velcro glove. Look at this. Takes the short hop backhand, goes off his feet, and that makes a good play at first on the throw. Wow. He's throwing some leather around today.
Now here's Johnny Tucker. Tucker safe on an infield hit in the fourth, 1 for 3. He's been remarkably consistent over the last 9 games with 13 for 39, hitting .333 to elevate his average above the .280 mark. Bounces that ball foul.
Tuck stole a ton of bases in the SEC tournament. Sometimes was Really got it hitting that Vandy pitching as good as anybody.
Check swing, but they're going to ring him up. Strike 3 to end the inning. But the Gators score a run in the 5th. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error. And after 5 complete here in Oklahoma City, it's Florida 9, Central Connecticut State 1. With Nick Belmonte, Mick Hubert back here at the ballpark, and who could that be? None other than Johnny Bench.
Yeah, from Binger, Oklahoma.
Native son. Yeah, and how about the Mick? Mickey Mantle. We got some history of baseball here. Those two guys, and of course Joe Carter, whose street is outside the right field line.
Willie Stargell from Bartlesville. Remember interviewing the Mick in Gainesville on WUFT Channel 5 when he came down to promote our game against the New York Yankees.
1977?
Yeah. Game we lost in the 9th inning.
Matt Mimley leads it off in the top of the 6th inning. Mimley drew a walk the last time up. He's 0 for 1 against Justin Hoyman, who is bidding to win his 11th game of the year, and he has an 8-run lead. Game 2 will feature the host team, the Oklahoma Sooners, against the UCLA Bruins and their head coach Gary Adams, who will retire at the end of this year after 30 seasons in Westwood at age 65. Had a chance to speak briefly with him yesterday. Very fine gentleman. Two balls, 1 strike. On the corner, evens the count. Mimley went 4 for 4 against Sacred Heart on April the 9th. Slaps this one foul. Bouncing around in the upper deck.
You can see he's got an unusual stance, does Mimley. He's moving his hands up and down, up and down, up and down. Well, that's just keeping his hands in movement. As the pitcher starts his windup, he'll stop that. But as he's waiting, you'll see him go up and down, up and down, up and down. As the pitcher starts his swing, then he'll quiet it. See? Right there.
Gets it well to straightaway center, but Corselletti is easily there to patrol straightaway center for the first out here in the 6th inning. 1 out, and that'll bring up Brad Muldoon. Muldoon 0 for 2.
Not to be confused with Tootie and Muldoon, Car 54 fame.
Where are you?
Fred Gwynn played Muldoon on Car 54.
That was his big break. From there, you got to be a monster, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was he?
Leo DeRocha got to try him out for the Dodgers.
I think that was episode number 71.
Man, amazing on that.
Torty. 2 out.
Torty's just solid. I really think he's just so underrated in the Southeastern Conference. I don't think South Carolina would think that, because Ray Tanner just raves about him, but I think the rest of the league, he doesn't get his due.
He's got 5 assists. Adam Davis says, hey, I can play that way also. So it was a 1-2-3 inning for Hyman and company. After 5.5, it remains the Gators 9 and the Blue Devils 1. Above the Rim Classics, a summer showcase of memorable Florida and Florida State basketball games, makes its debut Monday night on Sunshine. We'll turn back the clock to 1997 when the Gators fought off a second-half rally from Mississippi State. Gators, Bulldogs, 1997, Monday night at 8, only on Sunshine. Bottom half of the 6th inning here at the Brick.
You have lights like that out on your patio.
Yeah.
Those are great.
2 out here one weekend, picked them up.
You can only get them here. Do they know that when you pick them up?
Here's Adam Davis. Scored a couple of runs today. In the 1st and again in the 4th. The Gators got 2 runs in the 1st inning today without a hit. Did not get a hit until the 3rd. Got 1 run in the 3rd, and then 5 runs in the 4th inning. Ben Harrison had a 2-out, 2-run double. And then Jeff Corselletti followed with a mammoth 3-run home run into the right field bullpen. A 5-run inning, and the Gators are now enjoying a 9-1 lead. It's swinging at a bad ball. Aquila will finish him off and complete the strikeout.
First baseman C.J. Smith.
That'll bring up C.J. Smith. A victory in this game would send the Gators into the winner's bracket. They'll play the 2nd game of the day tomorrow, which is scheduled for 2 p.m. Eastern. There'll be no television on Saturday, but you can hear it on the Gator Radio Network. There will be Gator Vision online for those of you subscribing to that. The pregame show tomorrow would start at 1:50 Eastern Time. Nice play by D'Aquila as C.J. Smith fouls out.
D'Aquila was the Northeast League, Northeast Conference Player of the Year last year. Of course, his teammate Keith Stegbauer wins it this year.
There's the booth adjacent to us. Steve Russell on your left, Steve Babick on your right. I'll be joining Steve Babick tomorrow for the radio broadcast and the Gator Vision online streaming video service. Again, 1:50 for the pregame show tomorrow. Nick and I return for the television broadcast on Sunday here in Oklahoma City. 0-2 the count on Harrison.
You know, Ben with that big hit and a nice at-bat, worked the count, got his pitch, rode it to right field. Big out double at the time with 2 outs. Championships are won with 2-out RBIs.
Hit down the right field line and going to make the stands.
See, Ben's the type of hitter. You just saw him double to right field. You saw him foul that pitch to right field. But he's the type of hitter. He can take that next pitch if you hang one and hit a bullet out of the yard to left field. He's very dangerous. And he's seeing the ball well. And he's probably getting his best at bats in the last half of this season. Lou Paparella just, really just the workhorse. Looks like it's going to be his game to finish. They're going to try to see what happens from there. Obviously, they're trying to get their offense to come back. If they don't, then I guess the coach Charlie Hickory says, well, we've rested our pen.
Popped into right center field. Hosgood and Muldoon are there, and it'll be in right fielder Rob Hosgood. And the Gators are out in order in the 6th inning. 1, 2, 3. We move to the 7th. Gators 9 and the Blue Devils 1. Well, the Gators have a lot to smile about today, and you can smile tomorrow watching the Gators in action, as well as archive Gator events at Gator Vision Online. And for only this weekend, you can sign up for the season pass, just $49.95 this weekend only. Log on to GatorZone.com for details on this exciting video streaming service, Gator Vision Online. Gators 9 runs, 7 hits and an error. In Central Connecticut State, a run, 5 hits, 2 errors. The number 9 hitter, Dan Tarnowski, will lead it off against right-hander Justin Hoyman. Tarnowski with a base hit and the only Blue Devil run of the game back in the 5th. North Carolina got 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th in Columbia to beat Coastal Carolina 6-5. Wichita State beat Missouri 3-0. UCF beat Oklahoma State, a big win in Tallahassee. Oral Roberts edged TCU 6-5. Georgia clobbered Middle Tennessee 16-2. They got 9 runs today in the 2nd inning. And LSU is opening up its lead over Army 8-0 now at the box, 8th inning. And Texas Tech beat Mississippi State 10-6. Ron Polk's team will have the losers bracket game tomorrow.
Look at that one.
Kent State leading 1-0 early against Notre Dame. The defending national champions Rice just with a 2-1 lead on Texas Southern. The 2-2 pitch. A full count now to Dan Tarnowski. Now it's a full count. All right, I guess we can't count. And there's strike 3. Looking, zipped it past him on the inside corner for the first strikeout today by Justin Hoyman.
Justin right here, he's going to catch the inside corner. Nice call. Definitely too close to the strike zone to be taken. Kevin Gilmore rings him up.
Chop toward Tucker. Tough play. He got him. Boy, you can't do it any finer than that. Stegbauer thrown out third to first.
He continues to impress me. His play at third base. It's like he's played about 5 straight years over there, and he hasn't. He's been a real team guy. And you see him right here off balance, throwing it on the run. Nice play by CJ on the back end with a good stretch. Talk about the success of this Gator team, the differences in you said as the defense has been playing. Justin Torti at short and Tucker at third. That left side of the Gator defense is about as good as there is in the Southeastern Conference.
Osgood hits it well, but Corselletti running back and over the shoulder. Running catch for Corselletti, who's making a bid for a star of the game today. 3 up, 3 down. It's time for a 7th inning stretch here in Oak City with the score. The Gators 9 and the Blue Devils 1. With Nick Belmonte, Mick Hubert back here at the ballpark. Bottom of the 7th now with the Gators leading 9-1. All these opening day matchups are the 1s against the 4s. And here's an interesting one, Nick, is that top seed Notre Dame being shut out 1-0 the 7th in South Bend.
Yeah, and this is why Pat McMahon, and I know there was some talk about, will he be cute and maybe not start Hoyman today. This is why you start Justin Hoyman, because you just never know. The 4 seed, believe me, these guys have won conference championships. That's why they get in these things. They're hot coming in, and that's why you go with your number 1 guy on the first day of a regional. You don't try to be cute and try to, figure out maybe a way to have my number 1 guy ready for the winner's bracket game, and you just go with your best guy.
Well, here's one of the stars today for the Gators offensively and defensively as well. He's played an all-around outstanding game. Jeff Corselletti. Big 3-run home run in the 4th inning, and he got all of this pitch.
pitch that was hit it low. He really got the barrel head out. By far the best hit ball of this ball game.
2 balls and a strike on Corselletti. Luis Paparello, the starter, still in there for Charlie Hickey and the Blue Devils.
Well, what Paparello is doing is he's keeping their bullpen fresh. If they get into a loser's bracket situation, that's Scribner warming up. Evan Scribner, the freshman right-hander out of Washington Depot, Connecticut.
The 2-2 delivery, here it is. Bounced foul. Well, they got in the losers bracket in the conference tournament last week. They lost to Wagner and then won 4 in a row, including beating Wagner twice last Sunday.
So he knows the importance of saving his bullpen. He's seeing how the Gators are swinging the bat. He sees how Hoyman is pitching, so he's trying to say, well, until we make a run here, I'm going to leave my guy out.
And Corselletti has another hit. He smokes this ball to right field. Jeff Corselletti with a 2-hit game.
Well, his shoulder must really be doing well. You rarely see Corso pulling the ball like he's doing today. He hits it where it's pitched. His pitch, just like the last one, though, is a pitch that he can handle and pull. And he's right on his game.
But well, to mess up the opponent's spray chart and scouting report.
That's right.
Don't pitch inside on Corselletti. He pulls everything, pitch away, and then, of course, that would be where he's hit all season long. So he's done a great job of crossing him up today. Now, here's Ryan Kennedy, pinch hitting for Matt Laporta. Kennedy hitting .268. Kennedy went 2 for 5 in a starting assignment last Saturday against Vanderbilt. It's caught on the line at shortstop. It'll be a double play. That's the 41st double play this year by Central Connecticut State.
That's one of those darn if you do, darn if you don't. If you're a base runner, you're going to get doubled off either way. If it doesn't get to him and it just skips a little dirt and you're frozen, they got the double play. Obviously, if he catches it, you have it.
And now Justin Torty gets hit with 2 out. The Gators have a base runner. Now to bring up catcher Brian Girolamo.
That was only the second hitter he's hit this season. This is his 11th appearance in 66 plus innings.
I would look in the Gator defense next inning for Kennedy to go to second base and Davis to go to center field. Of course, Letty would probably move to left. We'll find out momentarily because it's time for that decision forthcoming. We go to the 8th inning. It's the Gators 9 and the Blue Devils 1. The Tampa Bay Lightning's quest for Lord Stanley's Cup continues tomorrow night. Join Paul Kennedy, Rick Peckham, and the Chief Bobby Taylor for pregame coverage of Game 6 during Toyota Lightning Ice Time tomorrow night, beginning at 7:30, only on Sunshine. Well, we were partially right in our guesstimations. Davis moves from the infield to the outfield, but will play left. I believe the first time this year he's playing left. And Ryan Kennedy will play at second base.
Ryan and some of the guys out in front posing from the Johnny Bench statue yesterday. Get some pictures, some memories made. Kind of fun thing about playing in a regional, new city, and taking it all in.
Well, you're right about that, Nick. It's only the 3rd time the Gators have ever been sent out of the Sunshine State.
My team did in Minnesota. Yeah, we had to go play Paul Molitor and came in second to the Golden Gophers up there.
1977, Minneapolis, and then 2000, Waco, Baylor Ballpark, and now for just the 3rd time here this year in Oklahoma City. Tim DeQuilla leads off the 8th. And a big cut. He tried to air condition the ballpark. If Hoyman goes the distance, it'll be the Gators' 8th complete game. They've had more complete games this year since 1993, when they had 9. And of course, they just pitched outstanding in Birmingham in the SEC tournament. 2.75 staff ERA during the tournament. Tommy Boss is scheduled, as of the moment, to be the Gators' starting pitcher tomorrow in what appears to be a winner's bracket game between the team victorious and the UCLA-Oklahoma game. That'll find the hole on the right side. So a 2-strike hit by D'Aquila gives the Blue Devils a leadoff runner here in the 8th inning.
That's his second hit of the game. Just steered it through the right side.
Hoyman had retired the previous 7 straight. Now here's Phil Rothkugel. Gator infield still hoping to turn its first double play of the game. Rothkugel, a double and a walk.
And with the left-handed Rothkugel up, Pat McMahon choosing to have C.J. Smith play behind the base runner and catcher D'Aquila.
Rothkugel was the NEC Rookie of the Year 2 years ago. Hit .374, was 5th in the league in hitting, 3rd in the league in total hits with 73. He also had 10 home runs that year, 54 RBI. Big breaking ball is in there for strike 2. Meanwhile, Adam Sanabria is loosening up in the Gator bullpen, which is one of those elevated bullpens beyond the left center field fence. Another nice part of the ballpark here. Yesterday during the Gators workout, Nick, Steve Babbitt and I had a chance really to walk every part of the ballpark, sit out there in the bullpen. We sat in the top row under the roof in right field and everywhere else. Just no bad seats in this ballpark. About 13,000 of them. Ground ball to Torty, to Kennedy. And right on cue to CJ. 6-4-3 twin killing the Gators' 71st of the year.
And Hoyman rolling right along, as you're going to see, enticing this 6-4-3 double play. It's already very smooth over there. And Kennedy getting a chance to turn one.
2 out, nobody on base for Tom Pizzello.
And the reason you're seeing the Gator bullpen with that leadoff hit, they didn't want Justin Hoyman to get in a situation where he was going to labor in a 35-pitch inning here in the 8th.
It's fouled out of play.
Because let's face it, when it comes to Sunday, if you need an out, this guy might get the call to get it.
Hoyman getting up near 100 pitches now. He had a 108 pitch performance in the May 26th game. That was the first game of the SEC tournament. He went 7 1/3 with 108 pitches. As the Gators beat LSU 5-4 in 10 innings, Hoyman did not get the decision. So he faces the minimum 3 hitters in the 8th. 1 hit, no runs. A double play took care of that. We move to the last half of the 8th inning. It's the Gators 9, Central Connecticut State 1. Bottom half of the 8th inning, and the Gators leading at 9-1. Comfortably on their way to victory number 41 on the year. As you look at a new pitcher coming into the game now for Central Connecticut State, that's Evan Scribner in his 23rd appearance. 4-3 record with 3 saves, 4.34 his earned run average. He's worked 58 innings, allowed just a shade over a hit per inning. Almost a 3-1 strikeout to walk ratio for Evan Scribner.
Throws all 4 pitches, 86 to 88 range. And the guy that will be one of their pitchers of the future.
Yeah, they have 3 or 4 freshmen who really played well in their first seasons. Bottom of the 8th with the Gators ahead 9-1. This game right at 2 hours in duration right now. So it's been a rather quick proceeding today for Pat McMahon. The Gators are going to have a pinch hitter for the DH, Stephen Barton. Matt Maley is going to bat for Barton. Matt Maley hitting just .154 on the season, appearing in just his 18th game. Maley, his best batting average season was the 2002 season. He had 400 that year, 8 for 20. And he hit a home run against Bethune-Cookman on May 31st in the regional tournament back at McKeithen Stadium. He's hit 3 career home runs. That home run against Bethune-Cookman was a grand slam home run.
Out of Killian High School. The same high school that Brian Rose, the Gator catcher from the last couple of 3 years, and the guy he pinch hit for, Steve Barton.
It's fouled back out of play. Well, Maley's first career start in a Gator uniform was against Winthrop on February 21st of 2001, and he made that start that day at third base. One ball, 2 strikes. Gators leading 9-1. They've out-hit Central Connecticut State 8-6 in the game. Maley hits it pretty well. Left center field. Hey, how about this? All the way to the wall. Maley with a pinch hit double. Matt Maley coming through with his second double of the year. The Gators have 4 two-baggers in this game today.
You can see his pitch. He gets something he can drive, and he said if you get it in the alleys here, they have no chance of getting it. Of course, with the 8-run lead, Maley just pulling up at second.
That brings up Johnny Tucker, who is 1 for 4 today. Maley at second base with that leadoff double. Right through there for a strike. We mentioned this the 3rd time ever the Gators have played out of state in a regional. They traveled 1,260 miles to Oklahoma City. Oh, 2 now on Tucker. 32 of the 60 games Florida has played this year, better than half of them, have been against teams competing in this year's NCAA tournament. They won 14, lost 18 against NCAA tournament teams. One and 2 the count. In the corner, Tucker called out on strikes.
If Oklahoma wins the second game today, it's going to be a sea of red tomorrow and a huge, huge partisan crowd. Yeah, they're already coming in for the next game here. Well, I think he's trying to beat the system. I don't think he's coming in. I don't think he's going anywhere. The 8-run lead.
Gators got 2 in the first today, 1 in the third, and then broke it open. 5 runs in the 4th inning. And all 5 runs in the inning scored after 2 out. 2 big clutch hits. Ben Harrison with a 2-run, 2-out double, followed by Jeff Corselletti's 3-run home run to right field. Well, again, it rained all morning, really, and rained out the on-field batting practice before the start of the game. Didn't stop raining until about an hour before the game, but now the skies are clear and temperature probably in the lower 80s on a delightful late afternoon. About a 40% chance of thunder showers in the forecast for tomorrow, however.
And that's not going to be good because they've got a minor league game that's going to take place after the allotted NCAA regional games.
3-0 pitch taken for a strike.
So you got 3 college games and a minor league game. You got 40% chance of rain. I mean, I wouldn't want to be the groundskeeper with that scenario.
This is foul back. The Redhawks and the Albuquerque Isotopes are going to feel like they've been at the ballpark all night because they play the last game Saturday, and then they play a 1 o'clock early game on Sunday. By the time they get home, it'll be time to come back. 3-2 pitch. He walked him up and in. That's the second walk Adam Davis has received today. Runners at first and second for C.J. Smith.
The Gators are recipients of 7 base on balls and a hit by pitch, so not the best of control shown by the Blue Devil pitchers today.
C.J. has walked twice and has scored both times. He also has a base hit, officially 1 for 2. Now DeQuilla will go out and talk with him.
And Charlie Hickey, the Blue Devil coach, knew that he had to have his pitchers throw strikes today if he was going to have a chance. He knew the Gators' potent offense would take advantage if they did. There's Pat McMahon. I'm sure he likes the way things have gone so far today.
Right in there for a strike. Gators have 9 runs on 9 hits. Central Connecticut State a run on 6 hits. Maley at second base, Davis at first, only 1 out. Hit right off the end of the bat, and it's going to fall in for a base hit. Everybody moves up a base. The bases are now loaded. CJ has a 2-hit game. The Gators in double digits in hits now for the 41st game. They're 31-9 this year when they've had 10 or more hits in a game. And that will load them up for Ben Harrison. Harrison, who can boast of 3 career Grand Slam home runs, steps in now. Maley at third, Davis second, Smith at first. Fly ball hit well into center field. Muldoon is back and will make the catch at the track. Maley tagging up and scoring the Gators' 10th run of the game. Harrison has driven in 3 today, giving him 64 for the year, and it's 10-1.
You see right here, he drives it to center field. Everyone's going to read it, and they're going to do very smart base running plays by tagging. Everyone's going to move. Maley's going to score easy as the ball is hit 400 feet away, but CJ tagging up from first, going to second. Very smart play. No matter what the score, you want to do the things you're supposed to do on the bases. Just good base running technique at all times.
Now Jeff Corselletti, like Harrison before him. Corselletti with 3 runs batted into the game. Davis on third, Smith on second. And the pitch lofted to left center field. Long run and a dive for Pizzelli. Can't come up with it. 2 runs will score. It's 12-1 as Corselletti hit one into the gap in left center field. And that will be his 3rd hit of the game. He's missing only a triple from hitting the cycle today.
I think you got to score that a hit, and they do. What you can see right here, as he hits the ground, he just doesn't hold on to his body. Just jarred the ball loose as he hit the ground. His elbows hit the ground.
Now 12-1. That's fouled out of play to the left. One ball, one strike. Ryan Kennedy batting for the second time. Gators with 3 runs home here in this 9th inning. The 2-1 delivery. Fly ball hit pretty well. Muldoon going back, looking up, and he'll make the catch on the track. Kennedy gave it quite a ride, but that'll retire the side. For the Gators in the last of the 8th inning, 3 runs on 3 hits. We move to the 9th. It's Florida 12, Central Connecticut State 1. Top of the 9th inning here at the Brick. The Gators leading 12-1. 3 outs away from an opening game victory. An 8-inning performance today from Justin Hoyman. He now gives way to left-hander Adam Sanabria.
Adam Sanabria in his 11th game this year. 1-1 record, no save, 4.74 ERA. And he's coming in 19 innings, 30 hits, 3 walks, 10 strikeouts. His last appearance was May 16th against Ole Miss. And one before that was 2 weeks prior, May 2nd against Auburn. In that game against Ole Miss, he pitched it 1/3 of an inning, faced 2 hitters, gave up a base hit. So I'm sure Pat is happy with the job Hoyman has done. He's had minimal pitches for a guy that started and won 8 innings, and that's exactly what Pat wanted, Ross Jones wanted from their starter, Justin Hoyman.
Well, Justin Hoyman goes 8 innings today, allows 6 hits, 1 run, walked 2, struck out 2, threw 98 pitches today, 61 for strikes. So big day for Hoyman. He'll raise his record this year to 11 wins and 1 loss with this performance today. And so here in the top of inning number 9, it'll be Matt Mimley to lead things off for Central Connecticut State. This will snap a 4-game win streak for the Blue Devils. They'd won 12 of their previous 16 games. 41-15. They're the winningest team in this Oklahoma City Regional as the number 4 seed out of the championship of the Northeast Conference.
Outstanding year for them, but their season's not over. Sanabria one job to do here, and that's just come in and just serve it up, throw strikes, let them put it in play.
Mimley walked in the 4th. He's 0 for 2 in the game. The only run Hoyman allowed came back in the 5th inning when Rob Husgood had a base hit to center to drive in Dan Tarnowski to ruin the shutout bid. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Out to Ryan Kennedy. 1 gone here in the Blue Devil 9th inning.
That's all Sanabria is supposed to do. Let him put it in play. Kennedy equal to the task for the first out.
Pitch hitter coming up now, Scott Appleton. Appleton is just 1 for 18 on the year, hitting .056. He's batting for Brad Muldoon. And it's no balls, 2 strikes. Gators leading 12-1 here in the top of the 9th inning. Right off the end of the bat with that one. 0-2 remains the count. Gators led 8-0 today after the 4th inning. Torty charging, and he throws him out. Well, the play of the game is brought to you by Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers. Jeff Corsoletti, 3-run home run in that 5-run Gator 4th inning. And he's played defensively very well in center field.
Our hats off to him. He pummeled that pitch.
And a week ago, his season looked doubtful after he dislocated his shoulder in Birmingham. And here's a first pitch ground ball to Torty, and that'll do it. The ball game is all over as the Florida Gators defeat Central Connecticut State 12-1 in the opening game in Oklahoma City. And Nick and I return in just a moment. The 2004 NCAA Baseball Regional on Sunshine Network has been brought to you by Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers, and by Bell South Answers. More choice of services, all from one company, all on one bill. Bell South, listening, answering. With Nick Belmonte, I'm Mick Hubert, back here in Oklahoma City at the Bricktown Ballpark, where the Florida Gators win game 1 as they defeat Central Connecticut State by the final score of 12-1. 12 runs, 11 hits and an error for the Gators, 1 run on 6 hits, 2 errors for the Blue Devils. Justin Hoyman, the winning pitcher, raising his record to 11 wins and 1 loss on the year. The Gators now with a record of 41 victories and 20 defeats. Central Connecticut State now at 41 and 16 on the year. So big opening day for the Gators here in a 12-1 victory. Let's go downstairs now and check in with the Gator head coach, Pat McMahon. And Pat, just the way you had it scripted, congratulations.
Well, thank you, Mick. I tell you, we're very proud of the club today. Really, I think you've got to give them an awful lot of credit. They really competed for us, and our team played their hearts out. So we're proud of them. It was a good start for us in a lot of ways.
Pat, congratulations. Great team effort. You jumped on them early, stayed on them, didn't let them get up. Assess, what the performance of Justin Hoyman, where he's at in your plans, and who could be the pitcher for tomorrow.
Well, thank you. I thought Justin really competed well. I thought he threw the ball in the strike zone, and he pitched to both sides of the plate. He continues, to get ground balls, let our defense work for him. And it was an opportunity for us to get Adam Sanabria in the game to pitch, which was important. If Justin can come back, if he's healthy, fine. Hopefully we can play ourselves into Sunday. Then obviously he could be a late relief guy if he feels well, and we'll see how rehab. He started on rehab right away. So I want to see who we're playing tomorrow. We'll go with Tommy Boss or Connor Falkenbach, because as we journey through the tournament, we're trying to get some matchup opportunities with the pitching staff that we presently are working through.
And based on that, you're going to decide on that based on who wins tonight, or where you think the matchup is.
Well, yeah, I think that's the right thing to do.
Right.
We haven't seen these ball clubs, and so we've got information from other people.
Right.
We now have an opportunity to watch UCLA and Oklahoma play and read their approach and read their swings and trust ourselves, and that's why we'll make the judgment in that way. The thing that we're journeying, Connor's pitched so well for us, but again, he can come out of the bullpen for us because you don't see too many complete games right now. So that's the dilemma that we've got to do, and it's not ideal, and it's going to be an opportunity for some pitchers on our staff to step forward. So I believe in them. I'll tell you that, though.
Pat, a week ago, it looked like perhaps Jeff Corsoletti's season could be over when he left the game with a dislocated shoulder, but he was the star of the game both defensively and with a great home run in that 5-run fourth inning.
Well, you know, we were fortunate. I mean, we scored all those runs with 2 outs. And having said that, Jeffrey was a big guy for that. His work ethic has been tremendous. His leadership from behind the scenes, his toughness is why he's in the lineup for our ball club. I'm very proud of Jeff and what he's done for our ball club.
Well, Pat, thank you for spending this time with us. We hope to visit with you throughout the tournament, and congratulations. Great game today.
Well, thank you. It's a good start for us. Thanks, guys, very much.
Gators a winner by the final score of 12-1, and we'll be in a winner's bracket game tomorrow against the winner of the upcoming game between UCLA and Oklahoma. Again, it'll be on Gator Vision Online tomorrow for your subscribers there, and on the Gator Radio Network, which is also via the internet as well. And we'll have the On Deck show tomorrow beginning at 1:50 Eastern Time for the game tomorrow. Meanwhile, Justin Hoyman standing by, and congratulations to the Gators winning pitcher today. And Justin, tell us all about how you made it look so easy.
Well, basically, the approach today was just to try to throw the ball in the strike zone. We tried to beat their bats a little bit, get them drive the ball into the strike zone. Looks like we got a... Sorry about that. We're just trying to throw fastballs and try to keep the pitch counts down, make them put up play, and let the defense work. That's the way we like to pitch, and that's what we try to come out and do today, just in case I have the opportunity to come back this weekend.
All right, big man. Congratulations. As you said, very tidy job. You know, right around 100 pitches, you're rolling right along. Command the whole game. And let's talk about that. You know, you had it going today. You're filling up the zone, making them hit. A lot of first pitch swinging that they had, didn't they?
Yeah, and we knew they were an aggressive hitting team, and they don't strike out much. And typically, I'm not much of a strikeout pitcher anyhow. I like to draw the ground balls and let my sinker work. And that pretty much I pitched right into the game plan there, and they hit right into it. So we got a lot of ground balls. We got the defense going. The game went along quick, and we came out on top. It was great.
And how do you feel now that, you know, I guess you can take it day by day, but what's it look like for Sunday? What do you think you got left in the tank?
Oh, I think I got plenty. This is all precautionary.
Yeah, okay.
You know, I'm really I'm looking forward to that opportunity. I hope I get that opportunity.
Outstanding job today, Justin.
Thank you.
Thank you, Justin. The Gators a winner today, 12-1, as he said. He let his teammates defend the field, and they did that flawlessly because Justin himself was charged with the only error of the game. He got great defense from Justin Torty, who had 8 assists in this game as the Gators shortstop. Gators a winner, 12-1. We'll return to Oklahoma City in just a moment. Watch the Gators in action tomorrow, as well as archive Gator events on Gator Vision Online. And for this weekend only, sign up for the season pass for just $49.95. Log on to GatorZone.com for details of this exciting video streaming service, Gator Vision Online. Here today in the opening game of this Oklahoma City Regional, the Gators have defeated Central Connecticut State by the final score of 12-1. The Gators now 41-20 for the year. So Florida advances into a winner's bracket game tomorrow against the winner of the upcoming game between Oklahoma and UCLA, which will start in about 30 minutes here at the Bricktown Ballpark. Around the country today in NCAA Regional First Round, quite a game. Carolina gets 2 runs in the bottom as the Tar Heels beat Coastal Carolina 6-5 in the last of the ninth. Wichita State beat Missouri 3-0. A final score. UCF beat Oklahoma State 7-3. It was Oral Roberts edging TCU 6-5. Georgia got 9 runs in the second and coasted to a big win over Middle Tennessee State. LSU shot out Army 9-0. Texas Tech beat Mississippi State 10-6. And in the 7th, at last report, it was Kent State 1, Notre Dame nothing in South Bend. And in the 8th, this would be a shocker, the defending national champions, Rice, losing to Texas Southern 4-3 in the 8th. St. John's leading Long Beach State 1-0 in the 5th. And FAU with a 4-2 lead over NC State at Coral Gables in the 7th. Tulane leading Washington 3-1 in the 7th. And Nick, big game today for the Gators.
Could not work out better for Pat McMahon. He got good pitching, minimal pitches for Hoyman, patient at the plate for the hitters, swung the bats, knocked in 2 out, got 2 out RBIs, played sparkling defense. Everyone was healthy. Perfect for scenario for Pat McMahon going into tomorrow.
Nick, I've enjoyed it. Look forward to working with you on Sunday.
Let's do it.
We'll have Sunday television from Oklahoma City, provided the Gators are still alive in this Oklahoma City Regional. We know we'll have baseball tomorrow. Gator Vision Online and the Gator Radio Network, our On Deck show beginning at 1:50 Eastern Time tomorrow. Our thanks to our producer, Jerry Wetzel, our director Tommy Smith, our entire Sunshine Network crew, we thank you, and we thank you for watching here on Sunshine. Coming up next, we remind you to stay tuned for Inside the Lightning. Once again, our final score, Florida 12, Central Connecticut State 1. Speaking now for Nick Belmonte, I'm Mick Hubert. So long, everybody.